What's happening? This your man Qualified, and we are here live factory, and I got my man, the artist formerly known as Mr. B, but you know now Bobby Gatz, aka Lord Thunder.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Still on the brothers and sisters.
You know what it is. You know what it is. We out here. Now for some of the viewers who may not know your background,
Okay.
why don't we let them know who you are? You are actually from New York, correct?
Yes, I am. I'm from New York City. I'm actually from Harlem. The group that I was part of was the Fresh Mcs, and on YouTube, our biggest record was That's Fresh. That was back in 1983.
Fresh, fresh, yo, that's fresh. Now Mr. B has the cash money and the gold rope chains with diamond rings. See, this man has a lot, he goes in and out. When it comes to G money, he has it too much. No luck is not the question, or the answer. The brother's too nice, it's just a woman dazzler.
I was 15 years old back then, and you know, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. I've jumped up on stages with, you know, the likes of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, Crash Crew, Cold Crush, Divine Sounds, Mastodon and Death Committee,
Okay.
Houdini,
Wow.
Jekyll and Hyde, Run DMC was my label mate,
Wow.
Profile Records. In fact, if you can find it, Mr. Magic's Rap Attack album, Volume 1, has a picture of all my label mates on it from Profile Records. So you'll have the Disco 4 on there, Spider D, Dana Dane, you know, just to mention a few.
Yeah, okay. So out here, like, real life living hip hop history.
Okay, yeah,
I
guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 15 years old when I made my first record. I was part of a group, like I said, called the Fresh MCs. And we were fortunate and blessed to have an opportunity to be signed by Profile Records.
Yeah.
And we made a record. And in fact, we made a couple of records.
Yeah.
We did That's Fresh, which was our biggest. Then Have Your Heart, A Few Minutes More. And we did a collabo with Pumpkin. And that was called Here Comes the Beat. Here Comes That Beat, and Pumpkin and the Profile All-Stars. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was on it. Mr. Troy and Greg G from the Disco 4, and my group, the Fresh MCs. And we also had Fly Tyrone, he did the singing part, and a DJ called Galaxy. So that was another big hit too.
Yeah. So yeah, you said big hit. So like you guys had like actual like commercial success.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did a lot of touring, did a lot of shows. See, music back then is totally different than how it is now. And doing shows, the bulk of our money came from doing shows.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. We were doing 15. We was getting paid $5,000 to do a 15-20 minute set.
Okay.
So the record that, you know, got us on tours was only like 5 minutes, 3 minutes long. So what we did to eat up the time was we did what we normally did in the streets. We did routines, we did harmonizers.
Yeah.
So we just made up a show. So
Okay.
it consisted of mostly routines and harmonizers and freestyles. So
Yeah.
that's what we did.
That's dope. So getting into the game like at 15, and then especially like during that time where I guess marketing and pushing hip hop like that was still a very new thing. I guess it was a I feel like it was probably like a wide open type landscape as far as like legally.
It was. Everything was new to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? First of all, when the record came out, I was still living in California.
Okay.
Right. I had moved out there to be, you know, stay with my moms. And the record came out. I didn't even sign the contract yet. The record was already playing on the airwaves, so they rushed. It was a rush thing. They sent out a contract. I filled it out. I signed my name to it. Sent it back. Then I was on the plane. The next thing, smoking back to New York. Got back with my family, and the next thing I know, like 3 days later, we were going to a show, doing the show. So, but as far as marketing and promotion was concerned, Profile Records, I'm gonna be honest with you, Profile Records didn't really spend any time or money on my group.
Yeah.
They back then, when we came out, which was not too long after Run DMC came out, and a lot of attention was spent on running them. So that's where I think, you know, their efforts and their money went towards. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get a lot of promotional thing. We didn't get a lot of push, but our record was played religiously. On the radio. You won't find too many promotional pictures of my group because of that. And like I said, we were young, so you know, a lot of things got, I believe, stolen because we were young and naive, and we really didn't have anybody looking out for us, you know. And that's what happened. Now, mind you, when I started getting into hip hop, I was 13 years old, and I was living in Brooklyn, and it just was a means to meet girls. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth, man. I just wanted to be an MC to get known by women, by girls my age and older. And older women.
Like there's a lot of rappers.
You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't thinking about, you know, money. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about, you know, going to somebody's outside schoolyard jam or a project somewhere, grabbing the mic, doing my thing, and afterwards, you know what I'm saying, how many women I could talk to after that. So it was fun. You know, it was a hobby. It was just like I said, like a means to meet women. As I've gotten older and you know, developed, you know, my skill and everything, it still became just another means of meeting women. It wasn't until we started doing shows after we signed with Profile Records that money became an issue. And I think that's what really messed it up for us, because doing shows is one thing. That's when you get quick money. But on the returns, we looking for these checks, right? And Profile Records did us dirty and shit. So we got jerked out of, I believe, millions of dollars. But we had fun. You know, and we did our thing. And I believe our last show was done in 1987. And after that, the group sort of disbanded. You know, I went one way, Unique went another way, and Jay went his way. But to give you a little background on other two brothers down with my group, was J. Cool, who is now Supreme Just, and he's working with these brothers at Fame Labs. Now, Fame Labs is part of Wu-Tang, right? So they're doing big things. They're doing big things, and you can go on. I believe they're on SoundCloud and on YouTube, and you can. They've been putting out albums and music for years now, and it's basically underground, but they got a lot of good material. Unique, I believe when we disbanded, he went towards maybe engineering and producing rock music, because he met some people, and that's what he was starting to like, you know, rock and metal and stuff like that. So, and me, well, I just liked how can I say? No, I just did me.
No.
I did me. I worked and I hustled and I got in trouble a few times.
Yeah.
Been away a few times.
Hey.
So
Yeah,
that's what happened.
You had to do what you had to do.
Yeah.
I feel
the only regret that I have was that we weren't knowledgeable of contracts and how the
it all
music
worked.
industry worked. We wasn't on top of these people who were controlling the money. We didn't really have a lawyer look at the contract. So I guess we shot ourselves in the foot.
Right.
But we still had a great time. We went on tours, we did shows, and I had a great time.
Right, because even like at this point, there's so many different ways to research and things you can look it up on the internet and kind of figure out what's going on. Like at least somewhat what a contract is. Way more resources and ways to find and reach out to somebody who can help you.
I believe that
especially then.
as far as publishing is concerned, because I remember off camera we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I believe that we're owed some money, and and we can get it. We might need a lawyer to get it.
Facts.
But I believe it's out there, and I'll keep y'all posted on that part of it.
Hey, because we were talking off camera. I don't know if you can say on camera.
What?
But there's with the one record, there have been some people who have tried to flip it. It had been.
Oh yeah. Well, that's common knowledge. It's Remy Ma.
Yeah.
Flipped the record.
Yeah.
And I believe somebody else did, but I'm not sure. But I know Remy Ma did. And Fresh was used on. What was it talking about? What's the name of that?
I was saying that the Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto was on there. It's been on a couple of soundtracks. So it's all on the internet.
Yeah, you see.
So, my love for hip hop has changed over the years. Right now, I'm more focused on my career, which is I'm a professional driver.
Right.
So I'm not like my cousin Jay, who is constantly in the studio. He constantly wants me to feature and do hooks for him.
Yeah.
And I do. I do. I did a couple of works for him. But my passion for hip hop, as far as jumping up and down on stages and going into the studio, has changed. I'd rather just watch and listen.
Yeah.
That whole profile record contract took the taste and the love of hip hop out my mouth, because we're old. I believe we're owed so much. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to go through that again with another record coming. Even though I know there's, I know things that I didn't know back then, but
yeah,
I don't want to go through that anymore.
I feel it.
So even though the money's like 100 times different. What I got paid for $5,000, brothers are probably getting $25,000, $30,000 for a 20-minute show. Those numbers are right, but I don't have the energy and the stamina anymore to do that. Yeah, I don't want to go through all that anymore. Yeah. But my cousins will.
Hey, you know what I mean?
They want to do it. Well, Jay does. Unique doesn't want to do hip hop anymore. He told me.
But beyond it, as with your experience in the industry, especially at a young age, I know you were saying like your love of hip hop is different. Has anything changed as far as like what you appreciate about the art form?
Oh well, I'm old school, so I'm always going to listen to old school hip hop. Now, as far as what brothers and sisters are doing now, I respect it. You know what I'm saying? It's just another form of hustle, and it's hip hop has evolved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gone so many different ways since the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really gonna knock anything. But I like I said off camera, I'm not feeling the mumble rapping thing. But I don't think mumble rap should be in the genre or the same category as, you know, hip hop or, you know, actual MCs or lyricists who are actually spitting lyrics and taking the time out to write out or think about what they're going to say.
Yeah.
I think mumble should have its own category. You know what I'm saying? And the MCs or the artists that do that type of music,
Yeah.
they should have their own little thing. You know what I'm saying? Separate from, you know what I'm saying, brothers who are writing.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
But there's one thing that I will say about all the music that's being played out there. The beats. The beats are hard as hell. I believe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you mumbling or you spitting fire. You know what I'm saying? The brothers out there and the sisters who are making these beats, they should get applauded. Because a lot of these beats out there are so hard that I wish I was still in the game.
Nah, for real, man. Some of these projects, the beat be saving it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll go as far as saying that as well.
Just before we wrap it up, if you were to give any advice to like young cats who are coming up in the game, maybe somebody else who's like in the position that you were at 15, but now, what would you say to them that you wish somebody would have said to you?
Besides perfecting what you're doing, read your contract, get a lawyer. You know, stay on top of the business part as well as the creative part, because those two go hand in. If you're trying to make money, you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to have somebody that you can trust, right? That's gonna watch your back and watch your paper if you're not gonna do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know, take a course in business management or something. You know what I'm saying? Get that knowledge of how that industry works. You know what I'm saying? Watch your paper and keep writing.
Thanks. Before we close it out, you got any shout outs or?
Oh yeah, I had a couple of shout outs. I got a shout out to the brothers at Fame Lab, J. Cool, aka Supreme Just, Born Unique, Dark Kim, K Bar, Born, let's see, DJ Elliot Ness, DJ Brother Divine, DJ E-Man, and all the brothers and sisters who supported me throughout my years. Thank you.
Thanks.
And to start vision in you.
Hey, appreciate
Kwalified.
it. You know what it is, man.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for coming to talk to us. So we out here. You know what it is, Factory. We live. We out.